Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, August 13th. This is Gina McGuire. Over the next couple of days, we will have a cold front sweep through the northern half of the Great Basin, and this will push our lightning activity further east and also increase our winds. Today, out ahead of the cold front, we will see winds increase a little bit over the southern and central portion of the Great Basin up into southern Idaho. Most speeds in Nevada and Utah will be generally around 25 miles per hour. However, we could see stronger gusts up over southern Idaho into northern Nevada near and just ahead of the front. Today we will have mixed wet and dry thunderstorms still over the central Idaho mountains. However, coverage may be a little bit less than what we saw the last 2 days, and relative humidity has come up a little bit. Also, we'll continue to see wetter thunderstorms over the rest of eastern Idaho into central Idaho and down across Utah. As we move into Monday and that cold front starts to push into the northern portion of the Great Basin, we will see showers and thunderstorms develop near and ahead of the front, bringing some chances for wetting rains for southern Idaho and northern Nevada and increased relative humidity. The stronger wind speeds on Monday will be over Utah and southern and eastern Nevada in areas where fuels have been moderated over the last couple of weeks. If we look at the last 24 hours, we had scattered thunderstorms or numerous thunderstorms generally across southern and eastern Nevada into Utah, with more isolated activity over the central Idaho mountains into southern Idaho. These thunderstorms over the Arizona Strip, Nevada, and Utah were wet, with a mix of wet and dry storms further north. We also had one lightning strike or one thunderstorm develop over western Nevada. Yesterday, we had light to moderate initial attack across the Great Basin with a few new large fires that started over parts of northern Utah into northeast Nevada. Over the last 7 days, precipitation has moved a little bit further north and has been near to above normal over parts of the Great Basin, but over the last 30 days, the above normal precipitation has been focused over the southern half of the area with still much drier conditions further north. Therefore, ERCs are still most critical across Idaho, especially the central Idaho mountains, where ERCs are still at record levels and 1,000-hour fuel moistures are still at record lows. Further south, we have seen ERCs come up over northern Nevada and northern Utah and have still been on the decline in the south. Looking at 10-hour fuel moisture, with that drier air in place, 10-hour fuel moisture is still very critical over the western half of the Great Basin. The satellite loop from this morning shows this area of low pressure over western Canada with a cold front that's now pushed into the northwest, and this cold front will push south and east across the Great Basin, bringing us additional showers and thunderstorms initially with breezy to gusty winds, along with cooler temperatures across the area. Now looking at the conditions today, we will see near and ahead of that front a line of showers and thunderstorms develop with higher humidity across Idaho today, along with activity continuing across Utah. We have not issued any high risk today, as humidity might come up a little bit in the central Idaho mountains, but there will be some gusty winds with the front, along with the higher humidity and scattered showers and thunderstorms, which could have some impacts locally to parts of Idaho or northern Nevada. Looking at the individual components, for wind, you can see those gusty winds developing ahead of the front. However, again, relative humidity across Idaho will be a little bit higher. Down into northern Nevada, we will see some breezy westerly winds and breezy southwest winds over the rest of eastern and southern Nevada, and humidity will be a mix of low in the south and around 20% in the far northeast corner of the state. Therefore, for our ongoing fire activity across northern Utah into northern Nevada, we could see some breezy winds, but again, gusts will mainly be in the 20s. If we move into Monday, that front dips further south and east, and it could bring some areas of wetting rains to parts of southern Idaho into northern and northeast Nevada, along with thunderstorms and higher humidity. Therefore, we are not high-risking anything, and we should see some of the fuels moderate with some of the moisture and cooler temperatures. On Monday, you can see where that focus of showers and thunderstorms will be near the cold front, and again, relative humidity will be increasing, but we could still see some very gusty winds as that front moves in with those showers and thunderstorms. Further south over the Arizona Strip, southern Nevada, and most of Utah is where we will see the most strong, widespread winds. However, again, it's in these areas that have seen wetter conditions over the last couple of weeks and have seen the fuels moderate. As we move into Tuesday, that cold front moves eastward, keeping some lightning activity over the eastern half of the Great Basin, with drier air moving into the west. However, you can see that our fuels have moderated in most areas. Relative humidity will generally be in the low teens in the west where that dry air moves in, and be higher over the rest of northern Utah, eastern Idaho into Wyoming, and winds as that front moves east will also decrease over much of the Great Basin, but still be somewhat gusty over eastern Utah. If we look at the 3-day forecast amount of precipitation, you can see the chances for some wetting rains across Idaho into far northern Nevada near the front, and then still continued activity over the southern and eastern side of the Great Basin, but will be a little bit more spotty as lightning activity will start to decrease. As we go into the middle of the week, we see dry air move into the far west, but still another disturbance may bring some isolated to scattered showers or thunderstorms over parts of the eastern half of the Great Basin for one more day. Again, fuels have moderated, so fire potential will generally remain in the moderate category. On Thursday, that dry air starts to push further east with decreasing lightning coverage from west to east. And then by Friday, it looks like dry areas across all of the Great Basin, and you can even see some areas over western and northern Nevada into Idaho are returning to the brown category as that dry air pushes east. On Saturday, we might see a return of some isolated thunderstorms to the central portion of the Great Basin, so we'll see how fuels dry leading up to that lightning returning through the weekend. Forecast amounts of precipitation for the next 7 days are largely reflected in the 3-day map. Again, most of the wetting rains near the front and over parts of the eastern half of the Great Basin. If we look a little bit further ahead towards the end of August, you can see warmer conditions over much of the Great Basin, but that cool signature over the northern Rockies into the eastern side of the basin is more indicative of maybe some cool fronts dropping down. Also, below to near normal precipitation is expected. That concludes our briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.